Welcome traders. In this video we're going over the oscillator framework. The oscillator framework allows us to apply the same setting across all of our oscillator type indicators. So that would be the multi-time frame, the visual parameters, the audio alert, and the email alert. These are standard options across every single one of our oscillators. Now the first thing you're going to see are the default indicator settings. So for the balance of power, there's only one setting, which is period. The highlight threshold, we'll come back to that once we get to the visual parameters. And then in all of our indicators, we have this multi-time frame function. So if we have up a 5-minute chart right now, if you wanted to run, let's say, the balance of power on a 15-minute chart, we just change the value to 15, set that to true, hit apply, and now you have a 15-minute balance of power on a 5-minute chart. Now what if you wanted to use a custom bar type? We can do that as well. So I'm going to use a logic line break with a setting of 3 and 3 line breaks. Now we have the balance of power plotting based on a custom bar type on a 5-minute chart. I'm going to turn this off for the time being. And then in our color styles, we have 3 different ways to color. So if we choose rising, falling, what we also have to set is we have to set number 3. So we can color the bar. If we color the bar, this will color the body of the bar. If we choose bar color outline, it's going to do the outline and the wicks. And then we have indicator. It'll obviously plot the color on the indicator. And then you can also plot the background color. If I choose background color, it's going to color the background wherever the indicator is. So right now it's in panel 2, so it's only going to color panel 2. If we change it to all, it's going to color every panel on your NinjaTrader chart. I'm going to switch it back to indicator. And now you'll see it's plotting based on whether the oscillator is rising or falling. Now the other option we have is the above-below threshold. This is where the highlight threshold comes into play. So whenever the oscillator is above 0, it's going to be green, or when it's below 0, it's going to be red. The other option is rising, falling, above, below threshold. What this does is it looks at the oscillator above 0, paints it green, but then if the oscillator is above 0 and it's falling, it's going to be a different shade of green. And same for if it's below 0. I'm going to change this back to above, below threshold, move on to our next option, which is drawing a symbol. So if you want to see where the oscillator crosses the threshold that you set in the main parameters, what we can do is we can set this to arrow, and then we can tell it where to plot. Right now it's going to plot in the indicator panel, so we can take a look at what that looks like. I personally don't think it's very helpful down in that panel, so we're going to put it in the chart panel, and I'm going to change the offset to 2 ticks. And now you can see the arrows are plotting based on when the BOP goes above or below 0. And this all works with the multi-time frame. So if we set this back to a minute chart, you see it works with the multi-time frame enabled. The other thing is, if you don't like the arrows, you do have the option for racing stripes. Racing stripes is just going to color the background where the arrows would be, and you can choose between the indicator panel or the chart panel for when it crosses the threshold. We can turn the arrows off. The next option is audio alerts. Set that to true if you want to hear an audio alert whenever you get one of these background colors. And then you can choose a sound file. And if you want to have a NinjaTrader alert window open, I personally don't use it, but I know some traders do, you would turn this to true, and it would send the alert to the NinjaTrader alert window. Now if you like getting emails, you can set this to true, put in the from and to address, and it'll send you an email every time that this background changes color or an arrow appears. Now you don't have to have the draw symbol or the racing stripes enabled for you to get an audio alert or to get an email alert. If anyone has any questions, please send an email to support@theindicatorclub.com.